Good morning. What a morning. We're in town, Paintsville, um, Kentucky. We're head to Chris. Do you have that image of the Waymart and all that?
Yeah, let me load it in here. Give me 1 second.
Okay. I'm about to show you a history where we've been. If you've been following our lives or in the Discord, and you should be in the Discord if someone wants to post a link to that. You know that they're trying me to for safety purposes and for navigation purposes and efficiency. That system that we use tracks the history of everywhere I've been. And in a second here, Chris will show you um, what we got. How come I'm not sorry, guys? How come I'm not seeing the preview screen, Chris?
You're looking at a different um window. I'll flip you over. Give me a second.
Thanks. Um, it's gonna show you. Yeah, Chris, just throw that map on, and you're gonna it's gonna pick us up in Lexington, Kentucky. That was Monday night when we stopped for a few hours to rest and didn't really get any rest, and then drove into here. So you're gonna see the blue up through Whitesburg and Letcher into Feisty and Dwarf. So all the different counties: Letcher County, Breathitt, Knott County. I'm remembering that now, by the way, everybody. Pike County, Clay County, all of those counties that were really hard to hit here. So there's the map. Chris, you can zoom in a little bit so they can see the red departments, the red marks, to see the four hardest hit places there. Maybe Chris can move the cursor around to show you where they are. But you can see them written out there. They did put a title over them. Such are there to the bottom right. North of that is Hinman. Somewhere on there, and I don't even see, is Feisty. And then there's Feisty. If we zoom out again and we look to our west, you see one red mark with nothing around it. North of those lines there, southwest of Watts Caney, is Wolf. Very mountainous area. There's one road in, one road out. We've tried to get a couple times, but because of our body recoveries and things, we couldn't get in there. We're going to now to get into Wolf Cole. We have come down here to help the farthest hit agencies as well as the people, but to help these four fire departments that were wiped out. Wool is one of them. And again, we've tried to get there, but we can't. The issue, other than the fact that it's one road in and one road out, and we have no idea what the infrastructure is on there, there's weather coming. There's some big weather coming. There is a heavy cell in western Kentucky right now between Waverly and Mayfield that is right now causing flash flooding in West Tennessee and western Kentucky. That's cut way, and we have systems firing up. I'm watching them build as we sit here. We got to beat it there. And we got to get the hell out of there. But we get there to let them know that there's stuff coming today. And that stuff is for them and the other agencies that were hit really hard. So we're doing. Get out. We're going to get to Wolf Cole as quickly and hopefully, and get out of there as quickly and give conversation for them. But I a few days ago and unable to get a hold of him again. But that's probably because he's back in those hollers and there's literally no service. Internet here at best is shoddy. Cell server is almost non-existent in most places. That is the plan today. The forecast, there is an aerial flood watch. There is a severe thunderstorm watch. They're going to see rain today. They're going to see storms today. The question is just how intense the storms are going to be, and they're probably going to be strong storms, and how precipitation they're going to get. There's going to be a lot of precipitation. The question is exactly how much they're going to get. But if they get more than an inch or two of rain, they're going to start seeing some big flooding problems. The ground is still saturated. It's not going to be able to absorb rain. So we could see continued flooding problems here today and overnight tonight into tomorrow. How bad will it be? I have no idea. Could it be bad? Yeah, it could be real bad. If you're the praying, feel free to say your prayers. Regardless, you should try and keep these people's thoughts today. We're at the Wolf Call. We had a little debate during Discord this morning, and there was some concern about safety. My safety specifically, getting in there and getting out, particularly with the weather coming. But we're down here for a reason. And that's the people that are hit are one of the hardest hit. So I'll be as safe as I possibly can be. But we're down here for that reason. And we're going to help them. We'll update you throughout the day today with pictures and things. Chris, you want to come on in comments here before we end up and get on the road?
Good morning, sir. We had an interesting night last night, and an interesting morning this morning discussing this whole thing. Quite frankly, there is a lot of concern for safety. However, we do have a response from the Hazard Herald, local newspaper down there.
Yeah, let's discuss that later.
Yep, basically saying their staff is impacted too, and they may not be able to get someone there. So send them info and pictures.
Everybody down here is hit. Everybody. There's not that, and that is one of the problems with when I was speaking with Sean Gilly at Letcher yesterday, the head of Letcher Fire Rescue and EMS. There's nowhere to help them. Like they need somewhere to park. It was washed away. There is nothing, nowhere. They're in the middle school, right? But the middle school opens in another week and a half. They got to get out of there nowhere to go. There's no alternatives. It's beyond any kind of comprehension that in this country where we can send 8 satellites to very specific places in orbit and send information from those, and we can send a fucking orbiter to fucking orbit Mars and send us pictures, that when a fucking flash flood happens, the federal is nowhere to be fucking seen. Nowhere to be fucking seen. When Haiti had their floods a few years ago, the United States loaded aircraft with supplies and people and personnel moved out and sent them out there to help them. They sent fucking Navy ships to Haiti to help them. I'm not saying they shouldn't have. But where the fuck are they now? When Katrina happened and New Orleans got flooded, New Orleans wiped out. It just got flooded. This fucking area got flooded and it got wiped out. I understand it's not Eastern Kentucky perceived to be as romantic as New Orleans is, but these people are far worse than New Orleans was. Far fucking worse. And quite frankly, it was the ineptness of the government that caused the flooding in Katrina. This here's no one's fault. It was for the We are the only, you've seen it, you've said it. We're the only fucking people you've seen to come and help them. There's nobody else. There's fucking nobody else. And person I ask on video, have you seen, or what has FEMA seen FEMA? We haven't heard from it. What's the Red Cross done for you? Haven't seen the Red Cross. Haven't heard from it. How are you getting by? Best we can. This is exactly what we do, why we started this disaster team thing. Because this happens every fucking time in that disaster. If it's not a big place or a romantic place or a big population center with media market, they get fucked. They get shit. Somebody will take the most dramatic story they can get out of the story, put it up on their article for a day or two, get the clicks, get the ads, get the revenue, and then they found them. This is still they're still pulling bodies out. I had to detour yesterday because they were pulling bodies out of a fucking car that was in the creek. Now that the water down enough, the creek, you can see the vehicle. There's a body in the car 2 days ago trying to get to Wolf Cole. Couldn't get there because there was 3 people in the debris under the bridge that I was trying to get to. 3 bodies that the Missouri Task Force was trying to get out of free. There's hundreds of people still fucking missing. Some of them might have driven away to relatives in Tennessee or other parts of anywhere else, and they're safe and sound. But there's still hundreds of fucking people that are unaccounted for. Where the fuck is everybody? Where are you? FEMA? Race? For that matter, the Salvation Goddamn Army, who normally does a step fucking job during disasters. I haven't seen you. I would this. But I have seen Billy Graham's disaster team here. I saw them in Waverly. I saw them in Seattle. Everywhere there's a big, and Mayfield. They are here. Samaritan's Purse. I don't even know what the fuck Samaritan's Purse is, but they got a cross in their logo, so I'm getting some religious group. And you know what? They're fucking down here. And they were in Waverly. And they were in Seattle and Mayfield. And all these little Baptist churches with pickup trucks and little trailers. These little southern churches have been every fucking where there's been a disaster. And not in their hometown, not even in their home states. There's outside Kentucky that are here. There are churches from Kentucky that I saw in Mayfield, that I saw in Waverly. People helping people. I don't give a fuck if you say, oh, fucking churches. I'm not a really... I got problems when people post thoughts and prayers. I got problems when the 4 little kids died. And people were for them. Fuck your prayers. It's a little prayer. It's been prayed, if that's what you believe. But these little churches down here are all over the place with little pickup truck vans and trailers, and a whole lot of their flock, I guess they're down here helping people as much as they possibly can. God, I did not mean to go off on a tangent this morning. I don't even know how we just got off on that tangent. We're going to Wolf Cole. Why? Because nobody else is. Graham, what do you got, buddy? You could have stepped in there and stopped me.
No. One, you were sort of a little potato at points, so... The Red Bull's probably not helping the vein in your head go down any, but... comments are pretty quiet this morning, and quite frankly, we got work to do.
We got a lot of work to do today. We got to beat the weather, and we got to get shit coordinated before our hijacked equipment gets there. I would just like to personally send out a message to Chief at Palisades Regional Fire and Rescue, who's transporting all of the gear, equipment, and things down here. Name. I need the name of the... Hold on, guys. I apologize for this. Chris, fill some time here for just a second for me.
Yeah. On your comment about FEMA, WYMT News has a page for flood relief. That's down there in Kentucky. Owsley County is eligible for FEMA assistance, is news this morning. Eligible to apply and start the red tape paperwork.
I have seen the posters, FEMA posters, and they're the same posters that happen everywhere there's a disaster, and the are special. If you have insurance, FEMA will not help you. They do not match insurance. So if you have insurance, you got to run that. So you've got to wait for your adjuster to go through everyone else's claims and check their claims and go to their properties, their losses, and eventually get to you. Feisty hasn't seen an insurance. Well, that's not true. Their station equipment, gear, and apparatus were ruined. And it came from their insurance company 2 days ago and looked at their equipment. And then, because another adjuster has to come for the building, then another adjuster cover the apparatus, then another adjuster has to come for the property, then another adjuster has to come for the electrical equipment, then another adjuster has non-electric equipment. 4 to 6 fucking adjusters have to. And every other place who has an insurance adjuster has to wait their turn till the insurance. I see State Farm insurance trailers here. Normally, when there's a disaster, and I saw it in Mayfield, there were insurance trucks and trailers set up, mobile claim centers. I haven't seen a single fucking one. They might have not been everywhere, but I have been to the hardest hit fucking areas, and I have been to the command centers of the hardest hit areas, and I've spoken to officials of the hardest hit areas. I've not seen them. The only thing I've seen that wasn't an agency was AT&T. I don't know what the fuck they're doing down here because I was parked next to them and I didn't get a signal right next to their satellite fucking truck and their two little Ford Escapes that they have with their logo over it. And the two cute girls that were sitting at a table doing nothing. I also saw them in Waverly. I saw that same exact satellite truck and the vehicles driving on FirstNet logos on them. I don't know what they're doing. If you're from FirstNet, tell me. I have fucking FirstNet. Explain to me what you do exactly. Now I don't fucking know. I saw that satellite truck. Couldn't guys it because of perception. I have fucking FirstNet. I was next to your fucking truck. I could have rolled down my window, jerked off, and spooged for it. That was probably not correct. Say your prayers for me.
Michael Eck is checking in. And Michael, I appreciate the comment. The media and the government would rather help the Ukraine and other countries before taking care of our own. Why can't we do both? Why can't we just be better?
That is my point. If a country invades another country and within hours and days we can send entire military supplies to them, who are these people asking for anything down here? How many did I have to go to Walmart yesterday morning, buy shovels, soap, shoe towels, and fucking loofahs?
Rob Cheney.
Then drive to Knott County and give them to the people. How is that fucking the thing? How are the people down here fucking Blackstones and grills and feeding people? Where the fuck are you? How is that possible? Flying fuck is that possible? Why? Because it's Eastern Kentucky? You're goddamn right. That's exactly fucking why. It's not Hollywood. It's some big fucking city. Because there's a bunch of people down here that get fucking looked down on because of where they fucking live. Because maybe they don't say the pretty words for you. Maybe they don't wear the right clothes. Maybe they don't have the big fucking homes that you do. Maybe they don't have the great cars. Maybe they talk fucking funny. I've met people down here that can't read a lick of English. And they're English. They're speaking their whole lives, but can't fucking read. That right there tells you everything you need to know. This area is failed upon ever for generation after generation. They're fucking ignored. Why are there illiterate people in the United States of fucking America? Because they get the help. They don't get the support. They don't get the money from the United States Department of Education. It shouldn't be a fucking thing at all. That money goes to Harvard or Yale, big hub of cities, or the mayors who are famous, who have the name, and have the 5, 6, 7 news people that can come there every time he does a fucking press conference. We sell out today the press local here to let them know supplies were coming. And you know what they told us? We'd cover it, but all of our people have been wiped out and affected too. And that's the problem here. This area would help each other in a heartbeat if they could. Before the floods, if something happened to all the fucking came in. But everybody here is affected. And there isn't anything to give them because it's all fucking on. All right, I'm done with my rant. I could go on all morning for this. I could. And I could go on to people that are... Oh, that was the that I was trying when I asked you to kill the time there. I want to send a very special thank you to Michael Helfrich. When we launched this program, or this mission, I should say, on Friday, saying we were going to do it, Mike Helfrich, who was a fan of the page, who helped us a lot in Mayfield, gave us our fire equipment stuff for Mayfield, reached out to all of the contacts in Montgomery County and Bucks County and got them to help. And then Palisades Fire Rescue Chief Bill, what's his name, Chris? What's his last name?
Chief
Helfrich?
Schick.
What is it?
Chief Schick.
Schick from Palisades Fire Rescue out to us and said, hey, we'll be a drop-off site. Cool. If you want to bring your supplies down here, you can bring them down here. We'll haul them down for you. Great. We got trailers. We got box trucks. That's awesome. Great. That's what we've been doing all week. Without getting into it, things were not what they necessarily appeared. When we went to Waverly and Mayfield and everywhere else, we handled everything. We handled distribution, the transport of everything. This is the first time we let another place handle something. We will never, ever do that. Bill Schick must be one hell of a mentor because he taught me a big lesson this week. We will be back to our old ways of handling ourselves. If you are from local media in the Lehigh Valley from down here and you're watching this, you can message our page. We have a story to tell you, and you need to know the story. And it's not about just picking up supplies and bringing them down here. The story is much bigger than that. Chris, you got any questions or comments?
No, nothing that it.
Nothing?
Well, there's a couple.
I'm on camera, Chris.
There's a couple. There was a discussion in Discord that I hold back comments from you, and I'm doing that this morning. Quite frankly,
I hate when you do that. I hate when you do that.
I know.
I can't see it, so I trust you to convey the information to me.
Okay. Cindy Calabrese, did anyone see this? The weather should be in the paper. Bucks County Fire Companies donate $500,000 in equipment to flood-ravaged Kentucky.
Yes, we saw it. Yes, we saw it. Listen, that is proof that you can't believe everything you read in the paper.
What was the line that Chief Fugate gave you?
If you're standing next to that fella and you're looking at a white cow and he tells you it's a white cow, don't believe him.
That's what's going on.
Like I said, we will now go back to our ways of handling every facet of these situations.
Rob Cheney talking about the government's response. They was rounding up stills that got washed out by the floods.
It's true. The ATF has a big presence down here.
They're looking
now. They're now able to get into areas where they otherwise would be afraid to go. There are armed ATF agents all over down here.
It's a good response from our government, though. 10 scariest words you'll ever hear. I'm from the government, and I'm here to help.
Except there is no government down here. Nobody is.
Yeah. Talking about the FirstNet trailer, Rich Young says Oliver would have talked to the cute girls. Oliver wasn't down there, though. Clark is.
Any other more serious questions or comments?
Let's see. Cindy Calabrese is checking back in saying, yeah, not fair. You're doing so much and right in the middle of it all. Thank you.
This is doing, and I don't mean all of it. What we're doing down here is exactly what we do. We go to the heart of it. We find those that need it the most. We get it to them. That's what we do. This week we've relied on someone else. And it's whatever. But this is why we do. Because if we weren't here, they wouldn't have shit. Imagine that we didn't come to Imagine we were like, oh, that's fucking terrible for East Kentucky. I'll see you later. Imagine where Feisty, where Letcher, where Wolf Cole, and Caney would be right now if we were. Imagine.
It's truly mind-boggling.
Honest to God, this is not like hyperbole here. They would have nothing. Nobody would have been down here. We can't give them a lot, but we're giving them something. We handed out probably to 1,600 this week to people that were making free food. Those people are getting any other money out. The government's not helping them. The
Quite
government
frankly,
should be the ones down here handing out food meals.
quite frankly, the if the government was involved, they'd be shutting down all of those roadside food stands because they don't meet some health code. And every one of those people that's down there that we helped would have gone home already. They brought food for a couple of days to bake.
Yeah.
There's already people that have to pack up and go home because they can't help it anymore. They're good humans, but they got to go to work next week.
The kid from Nashville that was cooking yesterday at the Electric Middle School drove down for 2 days. He's going to go back to work next week. I have the luxury of being stupid and not caring about income. so I took off this week, basically drained my bank account to be able to do this because nobody else will. Nobody else can. I shouldn't say will. 1,000 people would if they could, but they just can't. I'm willing to make that, I don't want to say sacrifice, but I'm willing to take that act to do what we do.
And the sacrifice is not just there. The sacrifices are here too.
No.
Our people that have been with us in the Discord for a week now, plotting courses, finding hotels, finding meals, finding directions, worrying about where you are, everything.
Finding context. Just this morning alone, before we started Weissel here on Discord, and again, if you're not on Discord, come on Discord. In the shit show room, they've been extremely busy this morning, trying to figure out, Wolf, you don't want to go. We had a little bit of a debate. I want to go. We mapped it out. We got it through there. Somebody else is the track down. It's a never-ending spinning circle or a spinning wheel. That wheel is always turning. It's not me. Behind the scenes that we've been talking about all week. And when we're back home in Pennsylvania, we're going to do a little breakdown on how we do this works. So you guys understand exactly how it works. But you can absolutely get behind on this entire trip. Come to Discord, and you can even participate for that matter, but you can eavesdrop and listen to what we do and how we do it every minute of the trip. This is not as easy as picking a place and going.
When we were discussing going to Wolf Cole, in regards to that discussion, Erica was checking in a little bit ago in the comments saying, "We just worry about you, Colonel, but we trust you, and you know the team back home has your back every step of the way."
Yeah.
We heard it from, I'm drawing a blank on his name, the chief from Lecter.
Gilly.
Chief Gilly. And they showed up. That's what our people are doing. They're showing up.
Listen, when I first met him, that man didn't know I was coming. Yesterday, we had a different contact for lecture. But then I went to their firehouse, nobody was there. And then what that we did have said, well, look, the EMS is set up at the middle school. So I drove up there. That was the first I met Sean. Didn't know the man's name. He didn't know anything about me. I walked up and I said, hey, so-and-so, and here's what we're doing. The man wept instantly. And he said to me, you're the first person that's come to help us. And if you watch that video from last, you can see how just that man is on the brink of breaking. On the brink of breaking. And his crews, who I did not put on video, very, 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 as you can imagine, the things they've seen this last week. And they've lost too. Remember, they're not just helping people. They lost everything too. They're victims too. But they haven't stopped. Since the flood started, they've been helping. They haven't been service. They run 30 to 40 EMS calls a day with 7 ambulances, down to 1. Well, 2 actually. Somebody in another county in Western Kentucky, gave them an ambulance to keep with a litter in it, a stretcher, but no equipment. Because again, it's a Kentucky EMS agency. They're not rolling in money, folks. There is no state EMS council here.
We have a question from Yvonne Mitch Bachman. Will supplies still be collected at the donation points to load additional trucks?
Working on that. Stay tuned.
Um, something that we need to bear in mind is we are just getting into the heart of hurricane season. This may happen again very, very quickly.
There are, speaking of hurricane season, there are three, and we don't have the time to show you anything, but there are three waves off the coast of Africa making their way across the Atlantic. Those are what form. And there is a particularly strong one that is, I would say all three are likely to at least be tropical depressions. Two are and there's a very good likelihood one will be a hurricane. Will they hit the mainland of the United States? I don't know. Will they hit the Caribbean? Yeah, almost certainly. Are we going to go to the Bahamas? God, I wish we could. But when it hits the mainland United States and people need help, we need to be able to help them. So when this trip is done, and we're down here and stuff is on the way already, but if you want to contribute to the disaster team and donate supplies or something, you absolutely can. We have a storage facility. Thank you to Michael Thomas, the notary, who supports stuff. And we had for this trip, 90% of it we've had in storage because for the last several months, people are donating things. We've been storing it. So when this happened, we had stuff. We loaded it up. Well, I shouldn't say we loaded up. The inner circle have loaded up in their personal vehicles and make multiple trips to take stuff down to Ottsville, to Palisades, Fire and Rip Rescue. Erica has driven around. Joe's driven around. Matt has driven around. People have driven around and picked up donations to take down to Palisades Fire Rescue.
Okay, let's run through a couple of last comments here before we get you on the road to Wolf Cult because we got weather to beat. Rich Young saying we were up until 1:25 last night.
Yeah, we were.
In the situation room, and we were back at it at 7 o'clock this morning.
Yep.
So most of our crew at this point is on 3 or less hours of sleep.
2 nights ago, we were up until like 2, almost o'clock in the morning, and up at 6. I mean, it's been a busy week with not a lot of sleep, and it's been very stressful and emotional this week for me. But it's been equally stressful and emotional for them too. They're with me every minute of the day. I'm images with them that you haven't seen. I'm sharing the stories with them as we're going around to these places because it gets Discord, and we have this little situation room we have set up. They see stories before you do. They know stories you don't know. They've seen graphics that you have not, and I say graphic, I mean graphics that you haven't seen. And we do a lot of photos, and at some point we'll do a lot of posts with some of the from down here. Now it's not the time to show those pictures. We know what's happened down here. The story right now is not what's happened. It's what needs to be.
Yep. To wrap things up here, Erica Yob, thank you very much. She shared the list of our kind of permanent donation sites in the Discord comment or the chat comments here.
Stay tuned, folks. The disaster team, which has been around a year, we've learned a lot of lessons on trips, and this trip, way more than most. We've learned a lot of things from, and it's going to be things that are going to exponentially accelerate the efficiency of our disaster team.
Cindy Calabrese, I wish I could figure out how to get on Discord, but that's besides the point right now. No, it's not. Send a message to the page. We will get you in.
It's not difficult. If someone can post a link to that Discord. Also, if you want to learn about what's going on here in Kentucky, ky.theweathercenter.com. ky.theweathercenter.com. Excuse me. Up until yesterday, I've funded this entire trip. I did start using your Venmo money yesterday for fuel. FY. So for those who have contributed to purchase fuel and such, thank you so much. And PNC thanks you, so I don't have to pay them a overdrawn fee. Thank you.
Abby is checking in. I've been listening on Discord, and there are absolutely amazing people behind the scenes. Keep up the great job. Yes,
Yeah,
Abby,
Abby,
we've seen you around.
before yesterday, I hadn't seen you, Abby, before perhaps. How did you find the weather, Abby? Because I know most of the people that are in the weather, and I see them commenting and posting. They've been around for years, and I know most of them. Who are you, Abby? Who you found the weather, please?
While we wait for Abby's response, Alicia is checking in the comments. You said off the coast of Africa, and I immediately thought, damn, he's going overseas.
Maybe not this year. But when we had the SS Bluecock supply.
Yeah. Rich Young, the Mayday and lost contact. That was incredibly difficult on the back home team yesterday.
We had a pretty stressful situation yesterday. Yes, it was
Um,
pretty harrowing.
we covered it in the video yesterday.
Yeah.
The interview with Chief Gilly, by the way, will be posted shortly after YSL in a kind of edited solo form without Peter and I on the screen. Rich Young says the kayak is ready, but damn, that's a lot of paddling.
Has she sushi?
What's that?
Has she told us who she is?
No.
All right. Well, maybe we can figure out in Discord her story.
Yes,
to know.
because I
And
just got an image from Bubba. You need to move now.
yeah, no, I get it. I'm looking at it right now. I've been watching
Okay.
it. You got that radar, Chris?
Hold on. I gotta download the image and stuff. I don't have the radar
No, that's fine.
computers up.
Take just the live radar up or whatever. But just so those of you watching here, we said we got weather coming. We got weather coming. Like I said, it's causing flash flooding right now out in western Kentucky, Tennessee. Actually, in the area right between Waverly, Tennessee, which is the first place we ever went, and Kentucky, where we went last December for the tornado. That area between them is getting flash flooded right now. And that was coming this way. And again, it will build and there'll be pop-up storms as that front moves each day. So we need to get into this very precarious little area of before that weather arrives. Well, we need to get there and get the help before that weather arrives. Chris is working on getting a map to show you what we're talking about here, but there is a very strong system coming through with a lot of, hey, look at the flood map. Terrific. Those green areas, my friends, are a flood map. Yeah. Alrighty then. I love you all. I'm going to get on the road. Because I love you a little bit more, assuming we make it out of Wolf Cole. Just kidding. We'll make it out of Wolf. I'll see you all later at some point today. Well, at some point today. And we'll take some pictures, video, and stuff of the supplies and equipment and stuff arriving. Hopefully late this afternoon, and then after that, we're going to start making the trek back home tonight. We're not going to whole trip tonight, but we're going to take the trek, begin to head back. I don't know where we're going to stop exactly. Rob Cheney, the 2020 fucker of the year, has offered accommodation to. But he's 6 hours from here, and depending on how everything works out today, I make it. And after dark, if it's going to be torrential raining, there's no way in hell I'm driving through that. So how far we'll get towards Pennsylvania tonight? Again, we're about 10 hours home, but we're going to start the trek tonight. We'll finish it tomorrow, home to Pennsylvania, getting back home tomorrow, and then I'm going to give my these hugs I think I've ever given them. That tragedy of the 4 children that died in the floods and their father who killed himself, that story just continues to get worse by day. If you're the praying kind, pray for the people down here. If you're the praying kind, just keep them in your thoughts. And again, if you want to help or if you want to learn more what we're doing, it's ky.theweathercenter.com. There's a link, I hope, somewhere. Join us on Discord. Just come on in. It's easy. It's intimidated by it. Easy. If you have trouble, message our page, and somebody in the situation room will help you get through it and get you on there. If nothing, now you'll be able to listen to us as we're going through the logistics and navigating everything that we do. And again, Venmo, if you want to, on Venmo, it's at the weather. So for everyone here, to all of you there, thanks for everything that you do, and to everyone at the shin room, the inner circle. Thanks, guys. Let's get through today. I love you all, ladies. I love you a little bit more. Knock on wood for me today, and you at some point later on today, and we'll try and post as many pictures and things as we can throughout the day. Burying an infrastructure here is terrible right now. Have a good day.